Hey there, I'm Terrie, and I'm the intuitive healer for folks who have anxiety and want to access their soul evolution and intuition. There's more than meets the eye here as we chat and hang out in these episodes that have spiritual, esoteric, multidimensional, somatic, quantum techniques, tools, and tips to help you get unstuck and move you forward in your day-to-day life. So join me in discovering your path to help you clear anxiety of the past, align your energy to the present, and create your new future. Well, howdy, hi. Nice to be back with you guys. Thank you so much for listening, downloading, liking, subscribing, sharing, all the things. You know how this works. So I was thinking about something earlier, and it reminded me of how important it is to understand the nature of energy in just day-to-day tasks, if you want to call them tasks, or just day-to-day living. And how, if you understand how energy works, how you can use it to your benefit, right? So here's the day-to-day example that I'm talking about, all right? Chelsea, sit. I have my dog Chelsea with me. It actually has to do with my dog Chelsea. She's sitting on my lap. She's giving me kisses right now. Getting ready to work with one of my shift happens now clients, which is the one-to-one mentoring. All right, so the nature of energy is that it's always moving, okay? It works off of momentum, which is built through consistency and constancy, right? So, for example, you want to lose weight, you ought to be consistent with eating healthy and consistent with diet and exercise, right? Over and over and over again. It's not just like, oh, let's do it 5 days in a row and we've dropped 50 pounds, right? So that's because we live in a physical reality, a material world, where the majority of the time, whatever it is that we want to manifest or whatever it is that we want to bring in or have is typically some sort of physical object or an experience that our body can have, right? So the nature of energy is that it just keeps moving. It doesn't actually stop. However, it can become stagnant, but it's just sort of like a stall. But even technically in that manner, it's not really stopped. Okay, so energy is always moving, right? And feelings are emotions, which is energy in motion. So your sadness isn't going to last. Your happiness isn't going to last either. Everything just keeps moving and grooving. I know that a lot of you guys have heard of law of attraction, right? Which is like attracts like. We bring into ourselves whatever our energetic frequency is, right? There's also law of repulsion. Yes. The way that works is the more you want something, the more you don't get it, right? Like when you really, really want to hear back from that guy or girl, that text, and you keep picking up your phone. Did I get a text? Maybe my phone's broken. Do I have the sound on? And you just keep checking it out and you keep noticing that it's not there, right? So your energetic frequency in that now moment is of scarcity and lack, right? So the more you want something, the more it goes away. So they've done a lot of physicists have done a lot of, scientific experiments. There's one called the slit theory, where this is super important. I know it's like, oh, well, Terrie, just get to the point. But here's the point. This is science. This is not woo-woo shit. This is science, right? So you have so what physicists did was they took a bunch of particles, which are those subatomic particles, molecules, ions, neurons. Neurons are brain cells. I don't know why. I think my one neuron is a little off today. But, ions, electrons, neutrons, I think they're neutrons, protons, whatever, right? And they were able to collect them or gather them in some sort of way. And what they noticed was that they would be there just in their own little space. But when they decided to shine a laser beam of light, which is a lot of focused energy, right? When they shined, is that a word? Shined? It is now. Shone the light? When they put the laser on those molecules, those subatomic molecules, those particles, they dispersed, they went away, they left. And as soon as they would take the laser off of those particles, they would show up, right? So this was a really big discovery, right? Now remember, wherever you place your attention, energy is going to follow. So if you're thinking about something, that's where your energy is going to that thought. If you're feeling something, your energy is going in that direction of the feeling. If you are touching something, your body, then that is where your energy is going towards, that part of your body. So energy is not just about thinking. Energy is going to follow wherever you place your attention, focus, or awareness on, right? So law of repulsion says the more you pay attention to something, the more it disappears, basically. So day to day, right? Which is where I was starting with this whole little spiel. I love my dog, love her to death. Like, I don't know what I would do without her. But when I potty her, when I take her on her potty walks, she can annoy the shit out of me because she won't pee or poop right away. And I want her to, because I want to make sure she poops or pees during this walk. And sometimes the walk is 20 minutes and sometimes it's 30 minutes and sometimes it's 45 minutes. I do have 3 different walks for my girl. So we're going for a walk and I'm like, all right, Chelsea, go pee-pees. Go make pee-pees. That's the thing. I say to her, go make pee-pees, go potty. She's looking at me right now because she's sitting on my lap curled. And I'm like, no, don't make pee-pees right now, kiddo. All right, so she pees, yay. And we're more than halfway done through the walk. And I want her to poop and she still hasn't pooped. Come on, poop, 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 poop. Come on. Chelsea, go make caca. I say that. Go make poopies. Go make caca. No, not right now, kiddo. She's staring at me again. So it hit me and I started to really laugh at myself. I'm like, Terry, you know how energy works. You know how this is going to work. The more you want her to poop, the more you tell her to poop, the less she's going to. You are activating law of repulsion on just an everyday, day-to-day task. Well, for me, it's a task. It may not be a task for you, right? So I'm like, all right. I laugh at myself. I say, okay, Terry, let's experiment. Turn on mad scientist mode and let's experiment. So I make the choice. I'm very conscious and I'm very aware. And because I have the knowledge of how energy operates, I go ahead and I say, all right, you do you, boo. You poop when you want to. And then I just, continue on the walk and I change the subject in my mind, right? So instead of me harping in my mind, even, which she can't read my thoughts. She can read my energy. She can't read my thoughts. I'm like, all right, let's change the subject. And so I start thinking about how many clients I have left that I am working with during the day. What kind of online course can I create? What am I going to eat for dinner? Just get off the subject. Yes. So I do that. And then I even start singing a song because I've got the time. I have another 20 minutes left on this walk and I got the time and she's not pooping. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm not even noticing that she's not pooping, right? Because energy follows wherever you place your attention. So if I'm going to sit there, log, track, notice that she's not pooping, that's where I'm sending the energy to. So it's going to go away. So singing my song, and I'm really happy because it's a song I haven't even sang since high school. Yes, I was in musical play production we did, Into the Woods, and I was Jack's mother. So I started singing one of the songs from Into the Woods, which is a great musical, by the way. Stephen Sondheim, in case you're ever in the mood. And I start singing to her, right? And I'm getting really excited. I'm like, look, in this now moment, everything's great, right? I have 2 legs to walk on. The weather's nice. It's not raining. I love my dog. I get to be with my dog. I'm so grateful and thankful for my work schedule. I have the flexibility to take her for a nice long walk and then get back to work. There's just really, a lot of other things that I could be placing my attention on. And then bam, Miss Little Poopy Poop Pooper decides to poop. Yay, good girl, right? So on just your normal, everyday, regular basis, can you look and see, even if you're not trying to manifest, even if you're not working towards a goal, can you start experimenting with the nature of energy? Because when you do and you start to understand how it works, it literally makes your day-to-day living a lot easier. And if you're listening to this podcast or you are drawn to me in any way, it is because you have some sort of anxiety or bouts of anxiety or whatnot, because like attracts like, right? I have anxiety. I don't think there's one person that I've worked with that didn't have anxiety on some level. That's law of attraction, right? So if you're listening to this and you have anxiety, it's actually imperative for you to start experimenting, put on your mad scientist hat, so you can start playing around and experimenting with energy just in your day-to-day work. You're supposed to hear back from a client, like switch your attention and your focus so that your client actually comes to you instead of you focusing so much on your client, which is just going to cause you more anxiety. It's going to exacerbate your energy. And anxiety is an energy. It's not a state of mind. It's an energy. It's an emotion. So in your day-to-day where you are right now, where are you noticing that what you're wanting to experience or wanting to have isn't coming for you? And I'm not talking about the house. I'm not talking about the car, bigger things that you want. I'm talking about the little everyday things that you want. Because if you can start practicing and implementing and understanding how to work with energy for the small things, you're building up a stamina, you're building up a trust, you're building up a faith for the manifestation of the big things, like building your business, right? Finding that perfect house, wanting that car or that relationship, right? Those are really big things. But if you start with the small things, it just gets a lot easier, and you start to notice that it can happen over and over and over again. If you've done it once, you could do it again and again and again, right? Which is great, because then that builds safety, security, trust, all the things that you need to feel like you have some sort of control, right? Because that's what the energy of anxiety is it's the desire, the need to have some sort of control. So understand that the more you want something to happen, the less it's going to happen. So often I'm doing readings and I get questions from women. My husband and I are trying to have a baby. When am I going to get pregnant? And I always say, you'll get pregnant when you stop worrying about when you're going to get pregnant. And it happens every time, right? And I know you guys have heard stories of like women who have needed and wanted and desired so bad to get pregnant that they and their partners decided, okay, they're not going to have a natural pregnancy, that they're going to adopt. So as soon as they adopt, they get pregnant naturally. That's because they took their attention off of wanting to get pregnant. The other important thing, and I'm sure there'll be more episodes about this, is that one of the things we forget is that it's not about the actual manifestation of the object or the experience. It's how it makes us feel. And that's really, really what we're going for, right? Because like, how would you feel if you found your perfect house, if you're house hunting, right? Those are the manifestations. The emotions are actually the manifestations. not the objects or the experience themselves. Like, let's say, a relationship, right? Oh, I want somebody to love me. I want somebody to love me. Well, guess what? You can get there by loving yourself. You're already in that emotion, which again is energy. So don't forget that, But for your day-to-day living, experiment with law of repulsion and see how that's working out for you. It's kind of fun to do. I do love me some good experimentation because I look at it as an opportunity to learn, because it is not natural for me to be able to detach emotionally. It just isn't. So what's nice is that when you put on mad scientist hat and you get to experiment and play, you can actually come from the energy and the frequency of curiosity. And when we do that, there's really no attachment to the outcome, right? It's, oh, let's see, let's play. I'm curious, right? And it just makes life so much easier and we suffer a lot less. All right, guys, that's just some little information that was running around in my head that I thought I'd share with you. And yeah, it's about dog poop. Yes, it's about a dog poop. And so it is. All right, you guys. I do appreciate you being here. Thank you for being with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, all the things. I appreciate you, and see you guys soon. Stay connected. Bye. Well, our time in this now moment together has ended, but another now moment is on its way. Thank you so much for joining me in this human journey and listening to this podcast, The Portal with Terrie Huberman. I sure hope you're getting something out of it. I'm here to help you clear anxiety from the past, align your energy into the present, and help you create your future. My prayer for you is to find the peace and calmness in any given now moment so you can recognize when blessings are afoot and you get to choose your next adventure. Be curious and stay connected. You can always find me at terriehuberman.com. Bye now.